Hello everyone, welcome to Jack's Wednesday morning lesson. My name's Ollie and I'll run you through what to do if you have any technical difficulties, and then we'll start the lesson with Jack. So, morning Caroline. 67% of duplicate, you probably won then, didn't you? Well done, that's a very good percentage. Okay. Very good, Caroline. Well done. Okay, so if you have any technical difficulties, please wait a second to see if things improve. Might just be an audio or a video hiccup, so wait a moment. If it doesn't resolve itself, please try refreshing the web page. It's the little circular arrow up here in the top left. That will reload the web browser. Like turning it off and on again. 9 times out of 10, that will solve your problems. Worst comes to worst, neither of those things work. Please use the golden support widget in the bottom left of your screen. It looks something like this. That'll open a chat box directly with me, and I'll do everything I can to help sort out any problems. Other than that, the recording will go up on the website probably about an hour after the lesson's concluded, so check there. Hello everyone. So, yeah, well, once we start the recording, we shall begin the lesson. Oh, Sarah, yeah, I remember meeting your friend at Patcham. That's great. They mentioned to say hello, and I was watching out for your name, so great. It's good to see you, Sarah. Okay. Welcome to everyone who's watching via replay, as well as everyone who's watching live. We're here on Wednesday morning, and we shall bring in your teacher, Jack Stocken, today.
Jack Stocken's here.
Hi, Jack. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Ollie. Yes, all's well, I think. You know, it's the 1st of March, so hopefully we're looking a little bit more into spring, but you never quite know. It's still a bit cold, I think.
It's cold, but it's very sunny down here in Brighton.
Oh, well, can you send some up here? It's grey and overcast up north.
Well, we've got to move down south, Jack.
Well, yeah, I could move anywhere. You know, I'm very mobile. But nice to see you, Ollie. Yeah, so this morning, what are we up to? Oh, we're doing a review of the 2-club opener, which obviously, as you know, 2 clubs doesn't come up very often. But when it does, it's really important to get it right, because you might miss out on game, you might miss out on slam. Yeah, so definitely for the improver class, I'm sure this is going to be a useful review of the 2 clubs. Other than that, yes, I think everyone's waiting for the lesson, so I probably better get on with it.
Okay, I'll catch you at the end, Jack.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. Thanks for the intro, Ollie. And good morning, everyone. Yes, let's get going. If you're watching in replay, hi to you as well. You could be watching in the afternoon or the evening, anytime suit yourself. Oh, Jane used to live in Pickering. There you go, Jane. So that's not too far from me. Bryn played at 7 o'clock with fellow students. Great fun. Yes, there you go, everyone. So when did you play? 7 o'clock on Monday night, Bryn. Yes, so it is good fun playing the online bridge. You do get to meet new friends as well, and you can chat in the chat box. It's St. David's Day, Maggie. Thank you for pointing that out to me. That one passed me by. Good. Let's get going. Well, you know that an opening 2 clubs, it's the big one in bridge, isn't it? Never, ever, ever weak, always strong, whatever system you play. Forcing to game, one exception, and it's a conventional bid, nothing to do with clubs. And of course, that's probably where I should be at the moment, down on the driving range, practicing for the new golf season. Yeah, conventional bid in bridge, it's an artificial bid. It's a bid that does not mean what it says. You know, we've learned transfers, they would be conventions, stamen, etc. 2 clubs isn't actually our first conventional bid, and we have learned a few more. This is a review, remember, this lesson. Okay, there's our first question of the morning. What do you open with that hand there? It's got 23 points. Let's get you warmed up. Hopefully not literally. Although no, people are conserving their heating bills. Well, I did speak to a lady yesterday. I can't tell you her name at the bridge club. So, oh yes, I'm really cold in my house. Playing bridge online. It's really quite cold. And then later in the conversation, she told me she's off on a skiing holiday. I didn't say anything. I didn't kind of add up really. Anyway, maybe she doesn't mind being cold. I'd just like to share that with you. Now, Flick is back. Yeah, I haven't seen your name, Flick, in the chat box. You've been absent for 6 weeks. No doubt you've got a good excuse. There's a few coming back live today, which is great. I noticed got a few more than normal. Yes, we don't need to hang around on this one, do we? Oh, well, I think that's a typo from someone, but it is a 2-club opener, yes. There you go. Remember, opening 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. They're all weak bids, weak 2s. A Nordic walking. Gosh, that sounds like good fun. Good exercise, Flick. Well done. Now, you could never pass a 2-club open. A lady over your way, Jane Doug, did pass a 2-club opener once. I can't tell you her name, but it was quite funny at the time. This kind of thing that's funny once, but not twice. And you will always respond this 2 diamonds bid. Well, I say always 90% of the time. It's a relay bid, or a waiting bid, if you like. So, here's your next question. I've opened 2 clubs. What would you bid with that, if anything? You've only got 1 point. Morning, Phil. Morning, Annie. Jane Holbert. Mary. Yvonne, of course, back live. Trish S. John's part of our Irish contingent in Cork. Amelie. Sarah. Liz. Yes, of course. You're not going to be the lady from, or the man from Scarborough who passed, are you? No, 2 diamonds there. And there's a couple of people waiting, look, in their waiting room. Looks a bit like a Degas to me, doesn't it? Am I wrong? Sure, most of you are more cultured than I am. Must keep the bidding open. Yeah, well done. I think it's called the waiting room, that one. From memory, it might be. There we go. It is Degas. Thank you, Jane. Yeah. Let's go straight on to hand 1 to put our knowledge into practice. And here we go. What would we open on the south hand? Should we add up all those points? We need a calculator. Hang on. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I've got the calculator. Okay. How many points is that? It's 23. What do we open? You can sometimes be slightly less than 23, by the way. It's not, not set in stone. You might sometimes only have 22 points or 21 if your hand is extremely strong. Typically 3 losers. But yes, we open 2 clubs. I'm even going to alert it because I quite like pressing the alert button. It's an artificial bid, of course. I'm sure you're all going to bid 2 diamonds on the north hand. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm even going to alert it. Yeah, must keep the bidding going, even with a Yarborough. I think I've explained what a Yarborough is, but it's a hand with no card higher than a 9. No on a card at all. Yeah, the highest card is a 9. Google the origins of Yarborough online. I think I have told you before. Let's just practice the rebid. There's no rush this morning. We're going, taking it quite slowly. What does South rebid with their 23 points? TJ, good morning. Charlie's over just down the road from me in Sheffield. Margaret, Angela, Martin's just up the road from me in near Scotch Corner. Maggie, of course, Yvonne, Mary, Jean S. Yeah, there's no need to jump there. Some of you are jumping. No, can we take this nice and easy, please? Takes away bidding space. So just a 2-spade bid. A few of you, no names mentioned, but some of them began with A, jumped to 3 spades. There's no rush. North. Now, this is interesting. Do they bid now with no points at all? What do you think? What does North bid now, if anything? Penny and Rob, the double act, good morning. They're not far from me either. Near Harrogate. LP, back in action. Colette. Shauna, of course, in Canada. Well done. Good answers coming in. Hillary, Jean, and we've got 1 or 2 special guests from Monday morning as well. Always welcome in this class, getting a bit of practice on 2 club openers. Now, vice versa, you're always welcome from this class to join Monday's class at 9:30, the intermediates. There's not much difference now between the intermediate and improver. And at some point, there will be a combination. Yes, now this is a little known thing, but actually you should go straight to 4 spades. Yeah, using what we call the principle of fast arrival. So this is quite a subtle point for the more experienced people watching. If you jump to 4 spades here, it's a shutout. Partner, I'm completely rubbish, but we do need to be in game. As Jack's mum has said, the 2 spade bid is forcing to game 100%. That's why I've given you a Yarborough to express this point that you have to keep going. But the subtlety of this is that a 3 spade bid here, when you're in a game forcing situation, for the more experience, is a stronger hand than 3 spades. Yeah, maybe exploring slam, but 4 spades says, partner, give me a break. We're not going to slam. Let's stay in game. 3 spades is a stronger hand, typically 4 points or more. We may have a slam on. Okay, so there you go. But that is quite a tricky one. It's only when you're in a game forcing situation that the principle of fast arrival. Don't get confused. If I bid 1 spade, 3 spades, that's still a weaker bid than 1 spade, 4 spades. 1 or 2 got confused last time. Okay, so we were in the normal contract of 4 spades, and you can see why you have to keep the bidding going, because South is incredibly strong. And also, just one more thing, when South rebids 2 spades, yes, oh, I'm just about to say, Emma, yes. The 2 spade bid, Emma, shows 23 points or more, and it's always at least 5 spades. Yeah. Whenever you bid after a 2 club opener, a new suit by opener or responder, it promises a 5 card suit. The first bid, yeah. Goody good. I'm sure you're all going to lead the Queen of Diamonds because it's the natural lead, top of a sequence. Right, well, I hope you remember to thank partner for the dummy, possibly through gritted teeth. There's not a lot there of merit. Well, 3 trumps is quite nice. There's one other thing which is quite nice as well, which I'll come on to in a second. But yeah. Okay, so this is planning time. Have you made your plan? Have you decided whether to draw trumps or not? That's really the main question, isn't it? I've decided what I'm going to do. I wonder if you have. Win with the ace or the king. I tend to win with the ace. If I've got ace, king as declare, it makes it a bit more difficult for the opponents to know where the king is. Okay, a little tip for you. Right, which card precisely? And am I going to play? It's a joint effort. Going to play from declarer's hand at trick 2. So South declarer is next to play, and it's all about whether we draw trumps or not. If you're watching in replay, are you going to draw the trumps, or are you going to do something else? I'm waiting for your answers. As always, keeping an eye on the chat box. Scrolls down the right of my screen. It's very efficient. The chaos. Remember, imagine if you all on Zoom pictures. Chaos. So much easier, the chat box. And I would never ever use a chat box in live, in face-to-face classes. Everyone would be too scared to put their hand up. So it's a brilliant way of involving the class in the hands and the slides. Right, let me just give you maybe a get out of jail free. The main time when you don't draw trumps is when you can create a void in dummy. So that's the clue I'm giving you. You can change your answers. So if there's a shortage in dummy, i.e. void, singleton, or doubleton, yeah, then plan to create the void in dummy first. As Jack's mum has wisely said, not in declarer's hand. Yeah. Oh, talking of Jack's mum, just a second. I hope you all saw Jack's mum's video that Bashir sent. It's had over 3,000 views. If you haven't, just send a message and I'll tell you how to get to it. But hopefully you'll enjoy Jack's mum's debut on the YouTube channel. We got her up to 3,000 views, which she's very pleased about. Oh, Jane Doug saw it. Yes, well done. Now then, everyone, and it's a little bit of a smoke screen There's a smoke screen. You know, even quite experienced players don't see this, you know, when there's a doubleton in the dummy. They see it when there's a singleton, but it's harder when there's a doubleton. So let's create that void. Okay, what do you think West comes back now, trick 2, having won the 10 of hearts? What do they best of, which card out of those 3, 6, 7, 8, out of those 11 do you think would be best? Whilst I pour myself some water. Colette's first up on this one. Oh, Peter A, good morning. Joining us from Monday's class. Well, given that Declare is trying to create a void in dummy, often the opponents can thwart this plan by switching to a trump. Remember the expression, if in doubt, trump about. Yeah, especially when you think Declare is going to create a void in dummy. You know, if they've got a singleton or a doubleton. So well done. Trump switch. Another heart is played. Creating the void. I hope this is going to be a really, you know, useful hand for you, creating the void in dummy. Another trump comes back. Oh, hang on, sorry. Better win that with the ace. A typo. By the way, if you were playing bridge online and you did that, they wouldn't. The opponents wouldn't let you take the card back. I'm allowed to take it back because I'm the teacher, and this is just a fun hand. But if you're playing real proper bridge online, or even face to face, once you've played the card, if you're playing face to face, once you've played the card, anyone sees it. That's it. You cannot take it back. It's against the rules of the game. Just so you know. Now we play our Queen of Hearts, and crucially, let's just pause for a second. I'm calming down. That is our 10th trick. That losing heart trumped on dummy. Gonna follow suit. Now we just pay out our winners. We're coasting now. And just give up a trump at the end. Yes, very good advice from Shauna not to create the void in Declare's hand. No, that doesn't give you extra tricks. No, no, and no again. It's very rare to create a void in Declare's hand. Only time you'd really do that is if you're establishing a 5-card suit. Club comes back maybe, but we claim the last 2. Yeah, Fiona. People do, especially when you're, you know, just starting out on the game, 6 months, the first year or 2. It's very tempting, isn't it, to want to make extra tricks in your own, but no, it's Declarer's hand. The thing is, the point is, you're going to make your 6 trumps anyway in your own hand, Declarers. The trumps you're not going to make are on the dummy. So the common mistake here would have been to have drawn trumps, and then you end up losing 3 hearts and the jack of spades for 1 down. So well done if you spotted that first time round, playing a heart at trick 2. Good. So that's 4 spades bid and made, 420. So instructive in the bidding, instructive in the play. That's the idea. This one available in replay as well. So you can play this one on BBO by playing out all the cards. Fiona, if you haven't seen Jack's mum's video, you just go to YouTube and put in Jack's mum bridge. Okay. Right, let's go back to some question and answer. Okay, here's another situation. Responding to 2 clubs is what we're doing mostly today, this morning. You've got 10 points here. What do you bid opposite 2 clubs with that? Hang on. Yeah. Normally, Magic's got a point. Normally about 4 spades or more, Magic. 4 points or more to make a positive there. 3 spades, yeah. A jump to 4 spades. Principle of fast arrival. 0 to 3. Really rubbish. Partner, just leave me alone. Don't go looking for slam. bit of a get out of jail free, maybe coming along as today with the improvers. There's no upper limit for the waiting bid. It used to be 0 to 7 in the old days, a few years ago, but now it's 0 to 10, 0 to 12. There's no upper limit. And also, if you were to bid a suit here, some of you, I think, have tried to bid a suit, you would need to have at least 5 cards and 2 of the top 3 honours, as Peter has pointed out. So here, everyone, we just bid a nice, simple waiting bid. 2 diamonds. In the old days, we would have bid 2 no trumps, but it takes away too much bidding space. It also means that South ends up playing 2 no trumps, which we don't want. We'd rather North to play no trumps because they're the stronger hand. So a nice simple 2 diamonds does the job here. And then, I wonder with that hand, here's a second question. It's not on the slide, so it's just come to me. Would you be thinking about slam with that hand? Opposite partners 2 clubs, by the way. Answer yes or no. Or maybe. Watching replay. Would you be thinking about slam? But just for the moment, we can take it nice and easy because we're in a game-forcing situation. Very much you would be. Of course you would. 33 for 6 MT, Phil. I would definitely end up in a slam here. Partner's got 23, I've got 10. I would not be stopping short of slam. So if I bid 2 diamonds here, and partner bid 2 no trumps, 23, 24, yeah, you can just bid, well, you might go via Stamen, but I'd just end up in 6 no trumps, yeah. Good, good, good. 2 clubs, Rosemary. That's the game-forcing situation. It's a game-forcing bid. Okay, so that's how you respond to a 2 club opener. You got your 2 diamond waiting bid. If you were to make a positive, which is quite rare these days, you'd need to have a good 5 card suit and 8 or more points. And there's a very big prize for you if you can tell me what all of those medals are in the next 5 seconds. It's quite an array, isn't it? I'm rubbish on my medals. So yes, to bid over my 2 club, if you were to bid a suit, you must have at least 8 points or more, so a good hand, and a good 5 card suit, ace, king, and 3 little ones, something like that. It's quite rare. Martin, I'll give you a special prize. Yes, you've got 2 of the medals. That's pretty good. I'll come up and give your prize to you this afternoon up the A1. Let's move on. Okay, so I've opened 2 clubs. This time you've got 8 points and 5 hearts. What would you respond with that, do you think? Maria's first up. Maria's in Spain, part of our international group. Yeah, so this is one of the rare times, really, everyone, where you can come back as a positive, isn't it? Well done. Carrie, Anne R, Annie E, Bill, good morning. Liz W, Caroline, yeah. 2 hearts. Good. With a good 5 card suit. Yeah. You'll certainly end up in game. You might end up in slam even. 2 of the top 3 honours. Can I open 2 clubs with less than 23 points? The answer is yes. If your hand is strong enough to force the game with great shape. Typically a kind of 3 loser hand. But that first one, you got 21 points. It's a rock crusher, isn't it? Just 3 losers. 2 diamonds and a club and a solid heart suit. It's easily worth an upgrade there. Because otherwise, if you didn't upgrade to 2 clubs, you'd have to open 1 heart, which might be passed out. It'd be unlikely, but you never know. And the second hand as well, that's even stronger. 2 loser hand. Yeah, 21 points. So, but don't do it too often, you know, but most of the time I would open 1 heart, 1 club, etc. But yeah, you can upgrade to 23 points or a hand that wants to force the game, okay? So don't feel as though you need to stick to the 23. Okay, should we look at South's rebid for a minute? We've got 23 points. What's the rebid there, do you think, after partners 2 diamonds? We now need to look at openers rebid. So I'm sure that after this lesson, you'll be more confident with your 2 club openers and responding and bidding to game and slam. Of course, there is a worksheet that follows as well. Yep, 2 no trumps, of course, balance. Don't make the mistake of bidding 2 hearts. Did anyone? 1 or 2 might have bid 2 hearts. That was naughty. No names mentioned. But it's a balanced hand. To bid 2 hearts here, which are 5 card suits as well. So 2 no trumps is 23-24. Very good. Well done, Jill. Chiru. Oh, Chiru's back with us. Hi, Chiru. Let's play our second hand on BBO. Brilliant invention, BBO, wasn't it? Gosh, the amount of can you imagine the amount of programming that went into this website? There we go. Well, 7, 8, 10, 16. There are 23 points there. Fred Gittelman has just come to me, the man who was behind BBO. I think he died recently, but amazing guy. Was a grandmaster, Canadian grandmaster, international player. Right, so the rebid, I'm sure you're all going to rebid 2 no trumps now. Oops, hang on. They're not rebidding 2 no trumps. Yeah, 23-24. If you had 25 or 26 balanced, you'd rebid 3 no trumps. So this is 23-24. And what does North bid, do you think? If anything, with their 3 points? Yes, you only need 2 points or more to raise to game. Good. You know, partners 23-24, you've easily got enough for game. Should we just practice an opening lead as well, please, from West? Always good to practice the opening lead. I'm often doing it with the beginners. What's the opening lead from West? Again, it's 3 no trumps. Hi, Trish S. Susan's with us. Fiona. Maggie. Maggie, was it spelled right? Yeah, of course, 4th highest. Well, I'm not going to play too quickly at trick 1. I'm going to count my certain tricks. I think you'll agree we've got 6, 4 hearts and the ace king of spades. And we're looking for extras. Yeah, looking for extras. Clearly spades and diamonds, maybe. Right. Oh, let's just see. What would you play with the East hand, everyone, as 3rd player? Which card would you play as East? Let's just practice that. Don't worry, LP, easy mistake to make. It's great that everyone's enjoying BBO. You might come across some beginners now as well. You know, they learned in October that they're starting to get their WhatsApp group together, Maggie. So the WhatsApp group's catching on. The beginners have started a WhatsApp group, so you'll come across some of them as well. They're not doing badly, actually. They've just learned the takeout double. They've been playing for about 4 months. So you will come across them as well. A fair few of them, I think, are practicing. Thursday afternoons and Mondays at 7. Yeah, Maggie's met some. It seemed like a nice group to me. Hang on a second. Some of you... Oh, I'm glad I asked this question, Jack's mum. Let's 3rd player play high. Yes. I'm sure Maggie will give you a link to WhatsApp, Jane Doug. 3rd player play high. Yeah. How do you know that your partner hasn't got 4 to the king queen when they led the 2 of clubs? You could have taken the first 4 tricks. So no, very much when there's little ones in dummy. Let's just pause a moment on this because many of you went for the 9 of clubs. When there's 3 little cards in dummy or little card, rise with the ace. No, you duck in no trumps as declarer, everyone. Let's make that clear as well. Third player doesn't duck an ace. Declarer, if they had the ace of clubs, would duck. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So a lot of 9 of clubs there. In fact, most of you went with the 9 of clubs. I didn't see many aces there at all. 1 or 2. Flick went in with the ace. Yeah, Peter did, Yvonne. But it's third player play high. When there's little cards in dummy, play the highest when you can. I hope that's a good reminder. Returning partner suit. What card am I going to play at trick 3, do you think? Just by the way, Margaret, I'm not in charge of the WhatsApp groups. You know, that's an independent thing. I know nothing about it. But Maggie knows about the WhatsApp group. Well done, Maggie. Thank you for... What you could do, what some of them have started doing at the beginners, is actually they left their phone number, their mobile number on the post page of Bajir's website, LBO. Just by the way, that was fine. I don't mind you doing that. On the posting page, you know, where you post comments and ask me bridge questions, you could always put your phone number there for the WhatsApp. That's what the beginners have been doing. We are going to get to dummy, Martin, correct, with the queen. And we're going to try and get the spades going first, because that seems like the most lucrative way of getting extras. Which one should we start with there? There's a choice. We could play the jack or the 5. Try not to look at the east-west cards. Are you in the jack camp or the 5 camp? It's quite I must say it's a close call. I mean, it is our last entry to dummy, I know. But the problem is, if you mistakenly, and it's tempting to play the jack, but it is actually wrong. Look what happens if you play the jack. Would East, well, which is a mistake, by the way, but would East cover with the queen? That's the next question. Bad luck, Maggie. It's quite difficult to play it. It's quite a hard one, that. Don't be hard on yourself. Would East cover with the queen of spades? Yes, they would. And look what happens. You play the king, and you make the ace and the 10, but then West makes their 9. Their 9 is promoted into a winner. Definitely. I would say, if in doubt, cover an honor with an honor. You know, there are exceptions, as we've talked about, but most of the time it's right to do so. But look what happens. We play the ace and the 10, but then the opponents make the 9. So we need to go back in time. So actually, with this little combination, it's best to play the 5 to the 10. Because now, yeah, it's hard, manage. You know, I think many players would play the jack there, trying to keep the lead in dummy, but no, it would get covered. The higher card from shorter holding. No, that happens more as declarer, GLPM. Yeah. But this is an exception, really, to the rule, if you like. You know, there's exceptions. That's what keeps us playing this game. It's what fascinates us, isn't it? It is clever, Maria. Because now you see, look, the 10 wins. We cash the ace. And we collect Queen Doubleton. Yeah, we're now going to make 4 tricks in the suit. Look, so we now play a low one to the knave. We're still not out of the woods yet, so we better play a diamond. We're still 1 trick short. Here's a question. I wonder if any of you noticed. Only answer if you know the answer. It's quite difficult. Why am I not bothered about losing the lead here? Because the opponent's got winning clubs, but I'm not actually bothered about it. You would have to cast your mind back to trick 1, which could be difficult. But I'm not bothered about losing the lead. Let's see what happens. Hang on a second. How many tricks have we got? 5. I think we've actually got 9 tricks. Yeah. Let's take our 9 tricks. Why not? Yeah, no, it's just the way to play the spades, really. Let's take our 9 tricks. I don't think we're going to make any more. Ace of hearts. But the reason is I wouldn't have been bothered about losing because West started with the 2 of clubs, meaning they only had 4 cards in clubs. So they weren't going to run away with clubs. But there's no point actually going for an extra trick because we're not going to make one. King of hearts. King of spades is the 9th trick. And we give up the last few to east-west. Like this. Good. There we go. 9 tricks, just losing 3 clubs and the ace of diamonds. Funnily enough, you could have escaped on this hand by playing the jack of spades to the queen and the king because you then have to develop a trick in diamonds. Yeah, you don't give them a trick to the 9. So you would have got away on this hand with playing the jack of spades because you then get your 9th trick from the diamonds and you don't lose a trick to the 9. Good. Okay, well, that's quite an interesting 3 no trump contract. Always tricky to play 3 no trumps. Well, most of them are. Let's move back to the slides like this. There's only one time that 2 clubs is not forcing to game. That's if the rebid is 2 no trumps by opener and you've got 0 or 1 point. Okay, then you can pass. It's the only time you're allowed to pass. Have you ever tried playing 2 no trumps when your partner's got no points? Yeah, it's not much fun because the lead is always coming out of your own hand. So here's a slide for you. I've opened 2 clubs. You've come back 2 diamonds. I've rebid 2 no trumps. Do you bid again as south with 1 point or not? You're watching in replay. I hope you're enjoying this refresher on 2 club opener. Good to learn new things, of course, like we've been doing, losing trick count transfers. Also useful to go back in time for things that don't come up very often. Yeah, 0 or 1. It's the only time you can pass if the rebid is 2 no trumps. Good. I think everyone's passing. Maggie, Phil, Liz, they certainly are. Yeah, a clean sweep, I think. Good. This time you've got 2 points. So similar auction. What do you bid, if anything, with this one? You've got 2 points on this example. Very good, Caroline. I like it. Yeah, some people don't use the pass card often enough. But yes, everyone, Lucy, Colette, Charlie. Yeah, 3 no trumps, of course, if you've got 2 points or more. Good. Let's move on to hand 3, which is here. In the library. And surprise, surprise, I'll count the points for you. 7, 10, 16, I think it's 24. Yeah. 2 alert clubs. 2 diamonds. 2 spades is the rebid. What would your rebid be with a north hand, do you think? With no points. Nil point. Excuse my French accent. What should you bid with a north hand? Well, the get out of jail free card is making quite a lot of appearances today. So I'm actually really pleased that I've done this lesson as a review because I think it's proving very useful. Can I just remind you that when I rebid a suit as open, it's forcing to game 100%. You must bid on at any costs. You cannot pass. Manji, I believe you. There, Jack's mum has echoed my words, cannot pass. Jack's mum's away for a week or so, aren't you, Jack's mum? She's off to Morocco to teach bridge. Gets all the best jobs. So we bid 3 clubs to show a 5-card club suit. What does South bid now, do you think? Charlie, you were in good company then. I think many of the group passed. I don't know about the ones watching in replay. I'm picking up their telepathy now. Yeah, a few of them passed as well. Now, what does South bid? Morning. Hello, Emma. Hope you survived half term. Laura, Juliet, Annie, Jean. Well, hang on a second. Some of you are bidding 3 no trumps. Can we not show our hearts here? To show 5 and 4 LP. Well done. And Maggie, we're now showing 5 spades and 4 hearts. Could be very useful. Yeah. Good. Amazing how much fun we've all had, Maggie, isn't it? And LP and other, and everyone actually, since we started learning bridge a couple of years ago. Amazing game, I think. People don't understand how amazing bridge is until they actually start playing it. A lot of people don't even know what bridge is, if you ask them in the street. And over to North, what do they do next? Martin, easy. Yeah. Martin's losing sight of the basics. Martin, you're very honest, I know, but I think you'll find quite a lot of people will be as well. It's like an up and down roller coaster. But there will come a time when there will be an option, Martin, to go back to the basics on this channel. So yeah, there will come a time. I won't be teaching you uber complicated things. I don't do that on this website at all, even for the intermediates. Yeah, well, Janie, if you're getting behind any of you, Martin, you're more than welcome to join the beginners. I think 1 or 2 joined actually from the intermediate. They had a little bonus at 11 o'clock on Mondays. Yeah, they've just done the takeout double. They've just done finesse. They've been playing 4 months. And we are covering, and Sarah as well, many of you, and I think actually in a few months' time, that's going to happen anyway. We're going to combine some classes together and give you the option of going back in time at 9:30 on Wednesdays, or moving over to the intermediates. Emma can join them, yeah. Yeah, I think there'll be loads of you. We've covered some pretty, just pausing for a moment, just looking to see what we've done the last few weeks. We've done transfers, we've done Stamen, we've done card placing, which is a really hard lesson, Anyway, they would bid 4 hearts. It is forcing to game, so we need to keep going. Standard lead of the King of Clubs. Right. Well, thank you, partner. Gosh. Peter A, they would make the second negative response, which is 2 no trumps traditionally. Yeah, by responder. Yeah, 2 no trumps is traditionally what we call the second negative. Good question from Peter. And it's great, Margaret. Yes, you now have the choice of 3 different classes. You didn't have that a few months ago. That's something we introduced. We thought it would go down well with our subscribers. Right. Have you made your plan? What are we going to do now, do you think? Draw trumps or something else? Well, it's not easy. But the problem is, void in diamonds. No, that won't help us because we got winning diamonds anyway, you see. Oh, cold coming LP. Wrap up warm. Get the lemon sip out. Well, I think what we're going to do actually first here is play 2 rounds of trumps. The reason being is that because we've got 7 spades, everyone, if you create the void too early here, you're going to get over trumped. Yeah, so we're just going to draw 2 rounds of trumps. Now we're going to play the spades. Yeah, the danger of here, I mean, every hand is different, but on this hand, you have so many spades. If you created the void straight away, East would over rough. They'd come back there, Queen of clubs, I think, which would be rough. Persisting with the spades. They might switch to a diamond now. Okay, but we've got the 10 of spades is now established as a winner. They probably rough it at this stage. Yeah, rough in with the Queen of Hearts. But that's fine. That's going to be the last trick they take. They can come back a diamond, win with the king. Rough a spade in dummy. And we've established the spades at long last. Look, rough a club in our own hand. And we got 2 winners, ace of diamonds. And an overlap of winners at the end. Quite a tricky hand, that one, I thought. Harder than the others. It's actually 620 because we're vulnerable. Can you see what would happen there if you just played spades first? East would have started roughing in with a 10 of hearts, jack of hearts. They'd have over-roughed you in the dummy. It was difficult, Alison and Hillary, yes. It wasn't easy, that hand. Just to draw the 2 rounds of trumps and then establish the spades. Quite a hard hand to play, I think. But I think you do see how you just do need to push on, even with a Yarborough, no card higher than a 9. Quite often, if you play charity bridge, you get a special prize if you're the first person to have a Yarborough, bottle of wine or a box of chocolates. Probably, what was that wine? Blue Nun they used to give out in the 80s. Or Livestream milk. Yeah, that was a classic, wasn't it, in the 80s? It got passed around house to house. Oh, just by the way, plugging charity events, there is an event called the Marie Curie, raises money for charity. I'll put a link on. Yeah, I haven't told you about that. Yes, you play in small groups in your county of friends, and it raises money for Marie Curie, which is for people with terminal illnesses. Right, I just thought I'd mention that. So 4 hearts it is. Oh, Lambrusco, that was another classic magic. Yes, my favourite. It's good to talk about wine, isn't it? 10 o'clock in the morning. Not so good to drink it, possibly, but there you go. Yes, I don't think any of them know about Marie Curie, but you need to get a group of friends together. Let's go back to the slides. Yeah, I think actually just Google it, Marie Curie Bridge Online, actually. That would bring you up with the website. I don't need to give you the link. Here's another, similar to the last one, actually. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. What would you bid now with the south hand second time round? Do you need to keep bidding? Of course you do. Yeah, I think some of you, quite a few of you did pass before, but you do now need to bid 3 clubs. Show your 5-card suit, yeah. Good, keep the bidding going. Well done. I think it's been, I mean, some of you, I'm sure you'll all agree at the end, it has been really useful, this. That's why we did it last time with the other group. Okay, let's move on. Oh, well, this is how the bidding went. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades by North. You went 3 clubs. This is following on from the slide. North's come back with 3 spades. What would you bid next, if anything, with the south hand? Yes, you just, if you're interested in playing with a group of friends socially, you play over dinner, tea, supper, lunch, whatever. Just Google Marie Curie bridge. I'll put it in and it'll come up. They've raised over £1 million, I think, over the 20 years they've done it. Yes, well, North has repeated the suit. Rosemary Jean, well done. Showing 6, so you can bid on. Good answers, Jack's mum says. Yes, you bid to 4 spades. Well done. There'll be a 6-2 fit there. Well done, Juliet. Liz W. That's the full hand, you see. Look how strong partner is. You know, I know you've got nothing, but the point is partner's massive. And they might, you know, might not have 23. They might have 25 points. They could even have 26. I think the most I've ever had is 28. Might have had 29, actually. Okay, good. You see 4 spades. It's an easy contract. You just draw trumps, lose a heart and a club and a diamond. Yeah, should be relatively easy. Let's play our final hand on BBA before time catches up with us. And it's a 2-club opener. I'm not even going to count the points. I just know it's a 2-club opener. Thanks, Maggie. Have a good week. North, do they bid or pass, everyone? North's rebid now? Yes, Annie, there's no upper limit to 2 clubs. So 29 points or 30, you still open 2 clubs. Good question. Yes, well, definitely, I think, you know, the most important message in this morning's class is to keep the bidding going. South rebids 3 hearts to show 6. And North, everyone. Yeah, of course. They must keep going. They have done already. They were now raised again. Good. Okay. Well, it's been a story of Yarbroughs this morning, hasn't it? Yeah, just to really prove the point, I think, to get it across. You know, you won't always have a Yarbrough when I open 2 clubs. You quite rarely have one. They come up about once in every, I think, 1,700 hands, the Yarbrough. Right. Oh, no, I'm not going to play too quickly at trick 1 because should be making a plan whether to draw trumps or not. Well, I've made that plan. It's always good to pause at trick 1, actually, you know, because often, you know, that's the time to plan how you're going to play. And also it's the time sometimes whether to play the right card from dummy. Here we're clearly playing the 3, a semi-encouraging 5 from East. And which card are we going to play at trick 2, everyone, having won the Ace of Clubs? It's all to do with our strategy. If you're watching in replay, what are you going to do next? Draw trumps here? Think it's a hand to draw trumps or something else? Well, I think certainly we've learned from that first hand we played this morning, haven't we? That this is time to create the void in dummy. What you do, the technique is to look for a suit that's longer in your own hand than dummy, not including trumps. And here you see we've got 3 diamonds in Declarer's hand and 2 in the dummy. Let's create that void. I wouldn't say always create a void, Emma. There are exceptions. Mostly, though. Exceptions to nearly everything in bridge, as you know by now. But, yeah, most of the time, if there's a singleton or a doubleton in dummy, I would create the void. Right. They would switch to a heart. Try and take the trumps off the table. A trump. But we can win with a king. You could have started with a low diamond, John. I didn't mind a low diamond. It wasn't important to start with the ace. Might even be slightly better play to start with a low diamond, actually. You know, you retain the entry back to your hand. Good question from John. Quite often a low one is good instead of playing the ace. Where am I? Yes, here we go. So diamond, void is now created for us to trump. Okay, we're not quite out of the woods yet. What card do we play from the dummy? What card do we play from the dummy now? Well, as the answers come in on the chat box, we do need to take the spade finesse, don't we? And it's our last chance to do it. Good. Otherwise, we can never get back to dummy and we go one down. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Oh. Finesses don't always work on set hands, but they often do. And now let's test the trumps. Well, oh dear. We've got a 4-1 division here, but it's not the end of the world. We're just going to give them 2 trumps and make the rest. Look. So just quickly play them out. We're going to give them 2 trumps. The queen 10. We are going to make the contract though. 6-20 because we're vulnerable. There we go. Again, well done. It's only easy when you know how this game, you know. A lot of players would, well, quite a lot of players would have just drawn trumps there. Okay, let's move back. Just last 5 minutes. Yeah, well, we're coming into the last 5 minutes. Yeah. So if you remember just 3 things here, of course, today, an opening bid of 2 clubs is 23 points and artificial. Nothing to do with clubs. Well, just answer Martin's question. Does rule of 1 become rule of 2 when ops have winners in trumps? No, Martin, if they've got 2 trumps left. Oh, yes, if they're both winners, yes, becomes rule of 2, correct. Yeah, like there, they have the queen and the 10. Yeah, so rule of 2, Martin, you've just invented it. Well done. We'll call it Martin's rule. The rule of 2, when one player has 2 winning trumps, you definitely don't draw them out. I quite like that. Secondly, always respond to the 2 club opener with your 2 diamond bid. Yeah, rare to make a positive, but if you have got a good 5 card suit and 8 or more points, you can make a positive. So, but remember, if it's diamonds, it has to go 2 clubs, 3 diamonds. If you're making a positive in diamonds, okay, it's quite a leap. 2 clubs to 3 diamonds if you're making a positive in diamonds. And just one final thing I wanted to go back to you. Let me just go back to a few slides. I wanted to show you something else. I've got a couple of minutes spare. Here we go. Also, on this particular hand, yeah, something similar to this. Just a reminder for you, because we have done it in the past. If it goes 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no trumps, South can use Stamen and transfers. Okay, not on this hand, but it's you know, as though partners open 2 no trumps, really. So in these particular hands, if South had a 5 card major, they could now bid 3 diamonds or 3 hearts as a transfer to hearts or spades. So, and if South had 4 hearts or 4 spades, they could use Stamen 3 clubs. So just to remind you, just on this particular bidding, if you open 2 clubs and rebid 2 no trumps, transfers and Stamen apply. Okay, they don't apply. You know, if I open 1 of a suit, no, but 2 club open and rebid 2 no trumps. It makes sense, doesn't it? You can use Stamen and transfers. Now, Sarah's got a question. If the trump break is 4-1 or worse, do you stop drawing them? Nearly always, Sarah, yes. Yeah. Once you've discovered the 4-1 trump break, you normally stop after 2 rounds. Nearly always. There might be the odd exception, but yeah, there's no point in continuing. Let me just take you back over here. To the end of the show. Just before we finish, yes, next week, just to tell you what's happening, but a week today, we are doing 4441. Yeah, the dreaded 4441. So that'll be a useful one. Some of you have done it before. And also, you're welcome to join us on Monday for the intermediate. Because actually, the intermediate classes are fine for you now, most of you here. We are doing no Trump overcalls on Monday at 9:30 if you fancy a visit to the intermediates. Caroline's watching a bridge competition at the weekend in Dublin. Well done, Caroline. Have fun. I think it might be the... Yeah, I wonder what it is. Is it the Camrose, the international one? There is no rule of two, Manjit. Martin just invented it. But just so we got a few minutes to answer your questions. Rule of one, Manjit, is when there's one trump left out and it's higher than yours, leave it out. Colette's been away on holiday. Good to have you back live as well. There was another question here. Oh, Marie, I got into a bit of a mess with reverse bidding. Is this something we might be recovering here, Marie? Are you there? Are you there? I was going to say, Bajir. Are you there, Ollie? But I will answer your question. Oh, Ollie, yes.
Hi.
Hi. Well, I think everyone enjoyed the refresher there.
Yes, it's certainly, as you say, it doesn't come up very often. But when it does, you really want to get it right.
Interesting question from Marie, I think it is, about reverse bidding. Well, I'll just say, Marie, we won't be covering reverse bidding. I don't even teach it to the intermediates. And someone was asking about this the other day, Ollie. And I basically just said, well, most experienced partnerships do play reverse biddings, Marie. I mean, I do with my partner. I'm sure Ollie does. But really, my advice would be they are very confusing. I don't teach them to improvers, intermediates. Andrew Robson doesn't teach them either, Ollie. What's your take on reverse bidding?
There are lots of other things to learn that are a lot more important than reverse bidding. So
that's a good point.
It could help your bridging if you get really good, but yeah, I'd learn how to play the cards before that.
Yeah, now, that's how I think, and I'm sure that's how people like Andrew think and others. But Marie, if you are interested, just post something on the posting page or send me an email, because actually someone did ask about reverse bidding last week, and I was able to email them some notes on it, stuff I pulled off the web. So Marie, yes, I'm be happy to. My partner got a bit cross. Oh dear, Marie, put them on an anger management course. Your partners would never get cross with you, would they, Ollie?
When I was a bit younger and my partners were about the same age as me, we used to have shouting matches across the table. But
yeah.
Then we finally realised that a happy partner plays a lot better than a disgruntled partner. So
it takes quite a long time to realise that, and I'm sure me and my brothers had the same when we were younger. I can't go into it here. But it wasn't particularly pleasant. But after a while, you realise when you're playing super competitive bridge, like I'm sure you were and I was.
Yeah.
You just need to chill.
Yeah, certainly. It's keeping partner happy is the main thing.
It is. So Marie, yes, if you want any notes on reversing, just send me an email or put it on the posting page where you ask questions. Peter A, good lesson, thank you. Is Mum and Dad? Yeah, let's big up Mum and Dad, Peter. They did win the Monday afternoon bridge, Ollie. So Jack's mum and dad won the afternoon bridge at Harrogate Bridge Club.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so that was good, especially as my dad had a stroke 3 years ago.
Oh, it's really good that he's winning duplicates again then.
Amazing, isn't it? Did you ever come across my dad or play against him?
No, it's a bit, I think a little before my time, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, he is 80 plus now, so maybe there's a slight age difference. Yeah, but he used to play loads of tournament bridge, and he was chairman of the English Bridge Union for many years. Yeah, as you will remember. So well done, Jack's parents. Yes, Jack's mum's parents. It was nice to see them on top. Penny and I managed our first win at panel last night. Well, that's worth bigging up as well, Penny and Rob. A bridge club near Harrogate as well. So the first win, Ollie, when you play duplicate, it's almost like winning the lottery, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you start off with lots of 40% or sometimes lower. Yeah. And so, yeah, that first win shows what you're all capable of.
it's kind of rising up the ladder, you know, and I'm always chuffed when people like Caroline say they've won their duplicate with 67%, because these lessons really, I know, really help people to improve, get confident, go away and practice and rise up that ladder. And it does take quite a long time, doesn't it, to get up that duplicate ladder? I think, you know, don't give up hope.
Yeah, it's nice to see some of the long-term goals realised, and yeah, they're improving a lot.
Yeah, Penny and Rob say no one more surprised than us. Yeah, well, I think you're very modest, Rob. I know. Good. Okay, I'm just seeing if there's any more questions just while we go. The robots play everything, including reverses. John from Cork is saying. Marie's partner got a bit cross. Next week, what are we doing? We said what we're doing next week. 4-4-4-1. Ollie, that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one shape that all bridge systems don't really deal with very well.
No, we really try and do the best of a bad job there. So I'll be looking forward to that. Good, Ollie. Well, it's 10:34 UK time. It's probably time that I had a cup of tea. My first. Yeah, it's that time, isn't it, where I put the kettle on.
Yeah.
You have a good week yourself. Are you playing any bridge in the next week or so? Any tournaments?
There's just local Greenpoint stuff that's coming up. So yeah, getting ready for that. But yeah, nothing too major.
No, I must say, Ollie, I played duplicate the last 3 afternoons. It's just nice to have cards back in your hand, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It certainly is. You do have to sort your cards though, which you don't have to do online.
Now, yes, and I did. You know, a couple of years ago, I was telling my mum and dad this, and I don't mind sharing with you. I get rusty as well. I hadn't played for a long time, and I opened one no trump. It was first hand, and I just kind of did that. I opened one no trump. Then I looked at my hand a second later, and I was 5-4-4-0.
Oops.
It was hilarious. I think the spades have got in with the clubs. I think I've only done that. I must have only done it once, I think. But, you know, it's the kind of thing we all do. You know, we're all human, aren't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, luckily, I was playing with a client at the time, and we fluked our way into kind of a reasonable contract. And luckily, I was declarer, so no one got to see my hand.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah, but it was quite funny. I thought that's an unusual shape for one no trump. 5-4-4-0. But it does show, especially on that first board, this will be a tip for everyone. Really, on that first hand you play your duplicate, everyone, especially face-to-face, just really, you know, sort your cards out, count them and count your points, because often the first board can be a nightmare, can't it?
Yeah, a lot of bad boards happen on the first board where you're not warmed up, or the last board where you're thinking about the bar.
Yeah, no, you're right. The first and the last board are the most important, and I'm always happy when I play in a competition, Ollie, which I haven't done for a while. But when my opponents are on the beer on the last board, I'm thinking, that's a good sign. They're kind of rubbing my hands together. Yeah. Well, it's good fun as always. Nice to have a bit of a chat with you. I'll let you get on as well, because I know you're busy, and I'll say goodbye to all the viewers. Thanks for your company, and keep an eye on those 2 club openers. There you go. And let me know, you know, if you do open a 2 club and get to a good slam, you know, let us know as well.
Okay. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming along this week. Hopefully we'll see you next week live, maybe on a Monday, maybe Wednesday morning. Yeah, thanks all, and see you next week.